Ash Ketchum's journey came to an end with him having defeated Leon in the World Coronation Series and then traveling all around the world with his two original friends, Misty and Brock. Sure, him beating Leon was one of the most defining moments in the anime ever, but a lot would argue that the aim to be a Pokemon Master series that aired afterwards was a little bit of a letdown. What was initially thought of as a series where he would go and tie in all of the loose ends couldn't have been further from that. We got one episode with Celine, Ash losing to Misty after becoming the world champion, getting a Wilmer unstuck, okay, maybe that one's not relevant, and reuniting with Pidgeot. Point is, we just got a heavily fillery and episodic 11 episode series to cap off a protagonist of over 25 years. What if instead we could give Ash Ketchum the true ending that he deserves? While it's not my cup of tea, I know that Amourshipping is one of the biggest and most definitive shippings in all of the anime. The only other two that I can think of that are on the same level are Rocket Shipping and Pokeshipping. What is undeniable is the fact that Pokemon themselves heavily lean towards this shipping in the XY series, giving us many hints and moments between the two. XY is to this day one of the most popular series that we ever got from Pokemon, with its animation, art, and story driving many people to enjoy it. Many people even compared Pokemon Horizons to this level, and needless to say, XY has one of the loudest fan bases in the entirety of the anime. Maybe besides Sun and Moon. Whenever you see an XY fan online, they will have one of three profile pictures: a Lon, Ash Greninja, or a Serena and Ash picture. In this video, I want to talk about Amourshipping as a whole and give 10 iconic episodes for the pair. But firstly, Amourshipping. Where does the name come from? Amour is the French word for love, and XY takes place in Kalos, which is based in France, and honestly I really like the ship name. It's definitely one of the more creative names that shippers have used. In Japanese, the ship is simply called Sato Sere. Sato comes from Japanese name for Ash, which is Satoshi, and Sere of course comes from Greninja. Just kidding, it's obviously Serena's name. Even though it's less creative than Amourshipping, it's still pretty cool nonetheless. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would truly appreciate if you could like and subscribe, and even comment which ship or anything in Pokemon you'd like me to cover next. But with that being said, let's talk 10 iconic Amourshipping episodes in no particular order. I'll start this list with the most recent of all the episodes, Pokemon Journey's episode 105, reuniting for the first time. Anecdotally, I remember when this episode first dropped, all of the buzz surrounding it. Basically, Pokemon tried really hard to make this Serena return a secret by not publishing the fact that she would be making an appearance in the episode. Originally, it was even supposed to air as episode 106, but instead they pushed it out a week earlier so that there was less of a chance of a leak. They know what they were doing because the week that this dropped, all of Twitter was going crazy. This episode had Ash, Chloe, and Go going to Lily Cove City to see a Sylveon perform in a Pokemon contest. The Sylveon trainer ended up being none other than Serena. The ironic part of this episode is that Ash and Serena wouldn't meet until the very end of the episode. They had a short exchange which was very heartfelt, with both of them promising to be the best battler and best performer that they can be, and they departed. Ash would technically keep his promise, so I'm pretty sure that Serena did too. From their most recent episode together, let's talk about the first time that they met on screen, which was in XY episode 5, a blustery Santaloon gym battle. In it, Serena is on the sidelines of Ash's battle, supporting him in the venture for the first time. We as the audience know that Serena actually has a past with Ash, but he would be totally oblivious to the fact. The backstory of which will be brought up in later episodes. Regardless, this was the first time that we got to see both Ash and Serena interacting together on screen for the first time, and it's easy to say that their on-screen chemistry was definitely there. This is the start of all the Amourshipping moments, as without this initial introduction it would be hard for there to be anything afterwards. This episode ended off in a perfect way, with Serena giving Ash a handkerchief and asking Ash if she remembers him, which he doesn't. Ash is such a great friend. So what about that flashback? How did Serena know Ash but not the other way around? Man, this is too much Amourshipping for me to talk about. I'm gonna have to call in an expert on this topic. Burlax, you mind helping me out here?
What's good, everybody? I'm sure a lot of you know that I literally started my YouTube channel with Amourshipping content. Making videos about Ash and Serena was what kickstarted everything for me. So if there's gonna be anybody guest starring in this video, then it had to be me, dude. It had to be. Anyone else would have been criminal. The incredible bond between Ashy Boy and Serena is one of my favorite parts of the entire anime, so I am super excited to get stuck into it again in this video. Starting with the very beginning. Back in episode 7 of X and Y, giving chase at the Rhyhorn race, we got a flashback of when Ash and Serena met back when they were kids at Professor Oak's summer camp. And I mean when they were like really kids, not the eternal 10-year-olds that we know and love. Back then, Ash helped Serena when she got lost in a forest and he told her to never give up until it's over. That was the moment that Serena's admiration for Ash really began, and those exact words were what inspired Serena for her entire journey in Pokemon X and Y. That one phrase really proved to be so significant for Serena's development, for her growth, month. And also, as a bonus addition, back then Serena got injured by a Poliwag, and Poliwag is actually the favourite Pokemon ever of Satoshi Tajiri, the creator of Pokémon. So I'm not gonna lie dude, it kinda feels like Ash and Serena had the creator's blessing from the very beginning. And next up, let's zoom ahead into X and Y episode 115, Battling at Full Volume. This was the infamous episode where Ash has the flu and Serena thinks he's gonna confess his love for her, but then he actually just ends up saying Iron Tail. This scene absolutely exploded in the community back in the day. I still remember it, dude. But for me, the reason I loved this episode so much is really because of how much it emphasized the incredible bond between Ash and Serena. When Ashy Boy was sick and needed help, Serena cared for him so deeply that she did absolutely everything she could to help him. She was even willing to dress up like him and pretend to be him, all just so Ash could get some more rest. Serena knows Ash so incredibly well that she knew how to be him, how to battle like him, and the trust that Pikachu had in her by going along with it, that really does show how much Pikachu loves Serena too. And dude, what more can you ask for than for your best buddy to approve of your girlfriend as much as you do?
Who can forget the Pokemon Summer Camp arc from the XY series? It was truly one of the best arcs in all the Pokemon, with a lot of character development for so many different characters. Pokemon X and Y episode 40, Day 3 Blockbusters was one of the best episodes in there. Why, you may be asking? Well, in the episode, Serena learns about Pokemon showcases, which of course was a huge turning point for her character and for her actual goal, as she was quite unsure up to this point what she was actually going to do besides being Ash's love interest. But in this episode, during the Pokevision portion, Serena runs off to an intriguing place, but she falls off a cliff. Lucky for her, her knight in shiny armor, Ash, ran to go help her, but in the process he injured his foot. At the bottom of the cliff, they get a nice character interaction between the two, with Ash talking about his goal to become a Pokemon Master, kind of echoing with Serena as she would then choose Pokemon showcases as her goal. We even got fantastic bonding scenes between the two, with Serena nursing Ash, and if that's not couple goals, I don't know what is.
Now we're going to talk about one of the most inspiring conversations in the history of the show. In Pokemon X and Y episode 113, after the end of the Masterclass showcase, Ash and Serena sat outside under the starry night sky, having a bit of a heart-to-heart conversation, you know? Serena told Ash that he's always so positive and that he always knows what to do, and then Ash replied that it's okay to struggle, it's okay to not know what to do, but no matter what, you should never ever ever stop. You should always keep moving forward, because there's nothing you could ever do that would be a waste of time. That entire conversation was seriously so inspiring, man, and it really made Serena's admiration for Ash so much deeper. Seeing the way that Ash and Serena described each other and constantly learned from each other in this conversation, it really did make me love them together even more. And then Serena even repeated those exact words to Chloe in Pokemon Journeys, and that really did show how much Serena had internalized the lesson that Ash taught her. She made it a part of herself, you know, and that's amazing, dude.
Pokemon XY episode 105 had another fantastic episode for all Amourshipping fans. In this episode, we got a dance party, so it's only obvious that of course Serena asked Clement to dance. Yeah, kind of anticlimactic, but during this dance party we also got a tag team battle, and in this one we did in fact get Ash and Serena forming a tag team pair that would go up against Mia and James. Ash and Serena were in a losing end, with Eevee getting knocked down, but after a motivational speech, we finally got to see Eevee evolve into Serena's iconic Sylveon, the one that Chloe would be seeing all of those years later in Pokemon Journeys. During the dance, however, it seemed like fate would be going on Serena's side, as it was about to be Serena and Ash's turn to dance, but just as it was their turn, the party came to an end, much to Serena's dismay. This is such a cop-out and troll move by Pokemon, but they knew exactly what they were doing with this. Had they gone on to dance, I could only imagine the AMVs that would have spawned from this scene, and all of those TikToks.
And hey, just as the highs are super important, so are the lows. And when Ash fell into a depressive state during the Snowbell City arc, the lowest Ash and Serena's bond had ever been actually became their highest acclaimed moment. Ashy Boy spent the entire series teaching Serena to never give up, to always keep moving forward no matter what. He drilled it in over and over and over. Think back to how they met at the summer camp, think back to their conversation after the masterclass ended. So then when Ash became depressed and he gave up, up, betraying his own morals and lessons that he taught to Serena, Serena was understandably incredibly shocked. She admired Ash so greatly. He was the one who taught her to never give up, to always keep moving forward. And now he was betraying himself and acting completely different. So for that reason, for one of the first ever times, Serena really overcame her passive, blind admiration for Ash, and she gave him a wake-up call by reminding him of the importance of the lessons and the morals that he taught her. And that was the thing that really broke Ash out of his mental anguish. This moment allowed Serena to see Ash in a more healthy light, and it had a huge influence on Ash himself and on their bond together going forwards. Now finally, let's talk about the one that I've been the most excited to talk about. This is my favourite Amourshipping episode, my favourite Amourshipping moment of all time, dude. Pokémon X and Y, episode 138, the first day of the rest of your life. A huge part of this episode was just Ash and Serena spending time together in Lumio City, just the two of them visiting so many different shops together. This was the most adorable thing of all time, if you ask me. This was the first time that I really felt what Ash and Serena would be like in a relationship. Just the two of them enjoying themselves on a fun day out in the city with each other, and then when Serena was anxious about her future, Ash immediately recognized her apprehension, so he so casually grabbed her hand and helped her resolve her troubles through a battle the way he knows best. Amourshipping is often criticized for being super one-sided from Serena, but for me, this episode really felt equal, you know? Ash invited Serena to spend the day with him, he visited the shops that she liked, he held her hand so casually, he helped her overcome her emotional struggle. This was the episode that truly made me feel that Amourshipping is the right ship for Ash. I really just adored how reciprocated everything was between them in this episode. It was really just a perfect episode.
And of course, we couldn't have an Amourshipping video without addressing the elephant in the room, and no, I'm not talking about Fampy. XY episode 140 Till We Compete Again is one of, if not the most iconic moments for Ash and Serena, at least for a very specific scene. In this scene, of course, Serena goes and kisses Ash, and we get a very rare case of one of Ash's crushes basically admitting to their crush to him. Of course, Ash is hard-headed and he doesn't really understand what's going on, but Bonnie's expression says it all. We finally captivated a very long crush story, with it culminating in this iconic kiss in the airport, right before her departure to the Horn region, where she would go on to grow into an iconic performer. I think what makes this scene extra special is the fact that we had never gotten anything like this before, at least in the main series. I mean, Latias did kiss Ash, and that same Latias would return to Pokemon Journeys, but that's a topic for a different day. In fact, Serena's flight was even called Latias Airlines, so they definitely hinted towards that. Some people have problems with this kiss being so one-sided, but for others, it solidifies their Amourshipping theories into being accurate. Whether you love or